Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is the Bible study that 3 out of 14 Sherpas in Tibet say they would listen to if they had access to the internet and podcasting and those kind of things. And I appreciate all those Sherpas for participating in our mail-in survey. We are studying this week Psalm 53. Psalm 53 is a mirror image of Psalm 14. We've talked about that. There are slight differences, and I've been trying to reveal those as we go along. We had one yesterday, that is Psalm 53, we have God look down from heaven. In Psalm 14, it's the Lord look down. And you're going to find that the Lord replaces the word for God in Psalm 53 in Psalm 14. So in Psalm 14, it's always the Lord. In Psalm 53, it's always God. Except one place, and that is in verse 4. In verse 2, the word God stays the same. So let's look at verse 4. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread. They have not called upon God. Now, he asks an important question here, which we need to treat, and that is, have they no knowledge? Now, this is not a question that God needs an answer to. He already knows the answer to this question. And the answer to the question is, well, no, they don't have knowledge. And why is that? Where does knowledge come from? You remember what Solomon taught us in the Proverbs? Wisdom and knowledge come from where? Where does it begin? It begins with a fear of the Lord. And what did we begin this psalm with? The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So is there any wisdom or knowledge available to the fool? And is it available to all those who he talks about in verses 2 and 3, all the children of men who have gone astray? They have looked down, they've gone after their own way. Everyone has gone back. They have altogether become filthy. None doeth good, no, not one. Can any of those be said to have knowledge? No. The fool and all the children of men, because they have not followed after the fear of the Lord. So there's no wisdom, no knowledge. So when he asks the question, have the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Well, are we talking about some other group here? No, we're still talking about the children of men, right? There's none that doeth good. You cannot put yourself in a group and say, well, that's my group. We do good. No. The testimony of Scripture is here in 53, also in 14, also in the New Testament, and in multitudes of other places. Men have fallen, and they've fallen short. And that falling short, ladies and gentlemen, isn't just a, oh, so sad you get a participation trophy. No, it is a, you don't go any further, you have to be punished trophy. So our sin holds us down. It holds us back. We are workers of iniquity. We have gone back. We have become filthy. And maybe we even have said there is no God because he hasn't done something that we have required him to do. Whatever it might be, our test. This is true in the church. It's true outside of the church. They say, well, I'm a good person. And so when I get to heaven, we're going to negotiate. God and I are going to sit down. And I'm going to say, okay, here's what I've done good. No, you're not. Because you've not done anything good. There is not one that's good. Notice that is repeated twice here in this psalm. There is none that doeth good. You don't have any good deeds to present. So, have the workers of iniquity no knowledge? The answer to that question is no, they don't. They don't have the right kind of knowledge because look at the end of verse 4. They have not called upon God. If you had knowledge, if you feared the Lord, then what would you do? Well, you would have called upon him. You would know that there's no good in you, and so you have to depend completely upon his mercy. Well, we're going to treat verse 5 tomorrow. I hope you come back then so we can look at that together on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.